How do I overcome self-doubt as a day trader? It's a very common hurdle. It's a very common challenge that a lot of traders come across. Whether you're a beginner or whether you're an experienced trader like myself, self-doubt can happen. So I want to give you some tips on how to overcome this challenge, but also to act as a safeguard, if you will, because in all actuality, and sometimes your self-doubt is your conscious trying to kind of knock on the door saying, hey, wake up. But at other times, like my case right here, and like maybe in your case, self-doubt is just not justified. So in my case, I want to walk through how it's working, and then I'm going to take you and show you some of my past results that, walk you through my psychology, but also offer up those tips on how you can overcome the challenge. So just quickly, to set up the context. So this is how self-doubt works, right? We have me, and then over here we have the result. And right here, we have the path to get to that result. And in all actuality, it's good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not like it was lucky. It's not like it was just, it was good. It was, for me to get to the result, that was actually really good. But here's what, and I'm not trying to get all sappy, but just to be transparent and share with you what throws me off and what threw me off with this result. Now, if you're watching this video months or years from now, just understand that at this moment in time, a lot of stocks have made some huge moves. So looking around, this is what's happened to me. I have, what I kind of call the social media effect. I'm looking at social media, and this is what's happening. It's pulling me away from this. So I am focused up here, and I'm seeing and I'm starting to compare what I see with other people. And I'm thinking, wow, that was big. Whew. Wow, that was really big. And then it starts to, create doubt, as in, Clay, maybe you should just stop trading. You're not that good. Wow, Clay, you actually didn't even do that good at all. Such and such this, such and such that. Oh, did you see that? Oh, somebody sent you this. And wow, those are some really big gains compared to what you did. But keep in mind, what did I do? Well, what I did was still good, but what's pulling me off is the social media. And this part right here, this little space right here, that pulls me away is where the self-doubt comes into play. And again, it's self-doubt. It's pulling me away from what? Well, what was actually good? And like I said, you're going to see my results. And I say that as soon as I get to the desktop, you're probably going to think the same thing. In fact, I can almost guarantee there's going to be some people show up in the comment section that are like, yeah, Clay, you are terrible. Such and such did way more than that in a single trade or a single day. What are you even doing? Those are terrible results. And like I said, I get it. That's why I'm having, I don't have it anymore because I'll show you how I overcame it. But I have no problem admitting that, yeah, I was kind of really suffering from a little bit with self-doubt, saying, oh man, wow, this was actually not that good. This wasn't good at all. But I want to show you how to do this. So what the tips I'm going to be giving you are showing you how to get yourself back here, right? Back to where you need to get focused. Back to where you have reality. And the reality is, again, it's actually good. So this part right here is what is very, very important and what I'm going to show you how to do, because we all struggle with self-doubt at some place during our career as a trader. Anybody, beginner trader or somebody with lots of experience, they're going to suffer self-doubt. So this part right here is what I'm going to be focused on. But again, remember, the self-doubt, and I'm going to give some examples here in just a second, could also be your conscious banging on the door saying, you know what? Maybe you need to reassess some things. So let's go to my desktop and I'll show you what I mean with all of this. Welcome to my desktop here. So what we're looking at is inside my broker's account, and I know I'm going to get asked. So the broker I use is Lightspeed Trading. Quick little notes on that very quickly. You're more than welcome to use Lightspeed. They're a great broker. I love them. The catch is you need $25,000 in order to open up the platform that I use. Now, if you don't have $25,000, then I would recommend coming over here to this page, and I'll put a link down below the video, but I'm not going to beat around the bush. The broker is known as Webull, and I just direct you to this page because first off, I have a video on it that explains why it's a great alternative to Lightspeed, and then also there's a link there where if you click it, you'll get a free stock, but you got to deposit that $100. That is an affiliate link, so for full transparency's sake, if you sign up using my link with Webull, who again, just watch the video, I'll get something, but you also get something. So I just want to make that very clear. that that is an affiliate link. And before you throw the card, oh, Clay, so you're just recommending them because you get something. No, Robinhood also offers an affiliate program, and I will never recommend Robinhood. So just that it has nothing to do with the fact that it's an affiliate link. It has to do with the fact that they're a quality broker and lots of members use them. So back to Lightspeed here. What I'm going to do is just bring up the month gains here. So I guess I probably should have that. Let me just change this to June so we can look at June. And like I said, you're gonna think, you're gonna feel what I did, right? Especially if you spend time on social media, YouTube, message boards, you're gonna have the same thoughts I did. So let's go down here to the results, and you can see for the month, I made $4,285.65. Wait, Clay, I saw fill in the blank of somebody else who made fill in the blank of a number bigger than that, maybe way bigger than that. And Clay, it was in like a single trade. It was in a single day. That's it? That's all you made? I get it. Like I said, I'm asking myself the same question. That's where the self-doubt comes from. But like I said, I want to offer you some tips on how you can overcome this hurdle here. And I want to also walk through a couple little they're actually very, very important learning lessons as far as money management, and explain a few things here, and really just goes to show the benefit and how bad things can get. But let's take things one at a time. So to go through the results right here, you can see, and the first thing that keep in mind is that these results were with me not trading for 2 days. Right there, no trades took place. And this was actually because my power went out. So for the headline there, and this was right over the time. Let's see, it was originally published on June 11th. And you can see, here in Michigan where I live, 300,000 people without power, had some nasty, nasty storms. So that's why no trading took place at that point. So even with that context of 2 days where I was not able to trade, I made $4,285. So I could have done even better if you look at the averages here. Average odds are, looking at the odds now, of course, I could have lost money those days. That's a valid argument. But just looking at the trend of things and looking at the overall kind of way more green than red, I think it's fair for me to assume that those days probably would have been green. So that number should have been a little bit higher. But let's look at a couple ways you can go about this. So the first way to look at this is, well, let's see what kind of account growth did I actually have. So I made $42.85. But what about that from an account growth perspective? Now, to keep the calculation simple, I'm just going to round numbers off. So let's just call it $42.85. So made $42.85, and I want to divide that by my starting balance, which was the $41,882. So that divided by 41,882 equals right there. Okay, wait a second, 10%. Now, at the surface, okay, you grew your money by 10%. But I get it. Is that good or bad? Well, learn to love this link. This link is a great reference point because you need to ask yourself, okay, well, compared to what? That's how you need to figure out whether or not your account growth number is worthwhile or not. So what you need to compare that to, and what my favorite thing to compare it to, well, first off, you could use the average account growth, the average market growth. And depending on what source you use, I've seen numbers between the S&P 500 or the Dow Jones over the past 100 years. Averages, I've seen numbers from 7 to 10% per year. Okay, well, in that perspective, if it's 7 to 10% per year, and Clay, you just made 10% in 1 month, okay, I'm starting to overcome that self-doubt. Sure, maybe those other numbers are way bigger than yours, but you know what? Getting things grounded in reality and comparing it to something else, 10% in 1 month, not too bad. The other alternative to use is here at Bankrate, and Bankrate is, I love the site because you can go and scan and, quickly figure out what some alternatives are, right? Because that's really what wealth building is all about, choosing where you're going to place your money. So again, I could have placed my money in an index fund, and if the index fund averages 7 to 10 years, or 7 to 10% per year, and I just made 10% in 1 month. Okay, well, compared to putting my money in an index fund, I actually did pretty good for the month. Well, what about a bank CD? Well, these are just, oh man. I don't, this stuff is just crazy. So from a bank CD rate, again, and I'll put a link to this site down below the video. So you'll have the broker link that you can go and sign up and use Webull. Or If you want to just check out this side, I'll put that down in the same area. But check this out. And this is like the best available. 1 year, 1.2%. Let me say that again. 1 year, 1.2%. And that's one of the best available out there. Let's see if I change that to 1,000. Or let's just go. I mean, maybe if you put in a much bigger amount, is there like better? No. I mean, that is, well, let's go. Let's extend this to 5 years real quick. What can we get? Oh, okay. Look at this. 5 years. Okay, well, now you can get 1.5%. 5 years, ridiculous. So that goes without saying, okay, I could be putting this money into a bank CD and getting 1.5% over 5 years, or going back to the 1 year, or I could be getting 1.2% for 1 year. Now the counterbalance is, well, yeah, but those are basically zero risk. You could be losing money in the market, and that's true. But I mean, it's not even close. 10% in 1 month or 1.2% for 1 year. So from that point of view, okay, you're going to very quickly overcome any self-doubt. Now, of course, this is also a safety mechanism, meaning if you're looking at like, oh, wow, I made less than I could on a bank CD. Now, if you're brand new, that's okay. You're still learning. But if you've been at this for a long time and you're making less than what a bank CD rate would be, I'm not saying you need to give up. I'm just saying you might want to start to readdress your strategy, readdress the way you're trying to go about learning about the markets. Again, brand new, that's fine. That's not a big deal at all. But if you've been at this for a while and you feel as though you should be a little bit more consistent, and again, just because you've made money, I don't know, is it still worth your time? Is it still the best place to have put your money? And if you're below these sorts of numbers, well, you know what, like I said, I'm not saying give up, but maybe reconsider some things. Let's move on to the second tip I want to give you. Again, first tip, just compare that percentage gain relative to other, avenues that you could have put your money. The other thing that I like to do is just think about my time. Am I wasting my time? Am I using my time wisely? Time is the most valuable commodity out there. And, this is, I think for me at least, this really makes things very transparent. And again, going back to that whole kind of safety type thing, this will make it very clear on whether or not, again, I don't want to be encouraging anybody to give up, but I do want to encourage you, maybe you should be reconsidering. And this is another way to figure out if you should be reconsidering things. So a little background here. I am trading so this is not like my full-time job. This is a total side hustle. This is just a way for me to make some extra spending money. And so I'm trading right around an hour a day. Used to be 90 minutes, but I've made a few tweaks. In fact, I'll put a link down below to a video I made where I tried a new strategy. And then the big thing I learned from that strategy was, so if you don't want to watch the video, I'll just nutshell it for you. But the big thing I learned from that strategy is, wow, instead of averaging right around 90 minutes per day, I'm just basically at an hour. So from 9:30 a.m. Eastern time to 10:30 a.m., that is my average time. Now, it's probably less than that, but to keep the math super simple, I'm just going to say an hour because some days I'm done after 10, 15 minutes. But like I said, for math's sake, let's just keep it an hour. So the number of trading days I had was 20. If you were to count all these up and then subtract 2 because there is no trading that took place, I was at it for 20 days. So 20 days, an average of 1 hour per day, right? That's 20 hours that I had trading. Okay, well, you're at it for 20 hours. That doesn't really tell you anything. But again, let's do a calculation. So I made $42.85, and then I want to figure out, well, how much was I making per hour? And if I was at it for 20 hours for the month, that equals $214. So the question now I need to ask myself is, all right, Clay, well, do you feel that was worth your time? And yes, I can only speak for myself, but I feel as though $214 per hour, that's worth it. To me, I'm very happy with that. That is a great amount. So that's another way that you can overcome self-doubt, right? Is just figure out on average, how much time are you actually putting into this? And what are your gains giving you? But again, as a safeguard, if you're putting in some sort of huge amount of time and then your results show that you're making $9.42, again, don't give up, but I would argue that you're not utilizing your time very wisely. Or now the obvious one goes, if you're just flat out losing money, well then of course it is costing you money to trade. Like you are literally losing money to trade. But I mean, if you're still green and still consistent, but you feel like, oh, I don't know, was that in some cases, yeah, you may want to have self-doubt, but just self-doubt in the sense of, yeah, I need to readdress my strategy. I need to readdress the way I'm going about learning this, because I don't want to be spending all this time to walk away with $9.42, or I don't know, in some cases, maybe you're making even below minimum wage. So, I mean, it's a good way to overcome self-doubt, but to hold yourself accountable. Just a simple calculation. How much guesstimate the average time you had per month or per whatever time period you're looking at, and then, divide that out and see what your, per hour rate is. And for me, $214. Very happy with that. Now, as far as a couple learning lessons here that I want to go across here, the main one comes in the form of this loss right here. I get it. Oh, Clay, ouch. Wow. Yeah, you ended the month rough. Kind of, but that was something totally designed. So a very great question that you should have in your mindset, that you should always be asking yourself is, well, what's my happy number? Like, what would I be happy with in this situation? So I'm not talking in theory. Let me just use these examples. So for me, my happy number was relative to the month, meaning, Clay, what number would make you happy per month? And I was thinking, you know what? So at this point, before this day even happened, I was up right around $4,700 on the month. So my happy number was like, you know what, Clay? I will be happy if I average for this month $200 per hour. In other words, I knew that, so let me clear that out. If I was at $4,000 for the month, and again, if I knew that my average time was right around 20 hours, that means I would have still averaged $200 per hour. So that's where that $4,000 is coming from. Just me saying, you know what? I would still be totally happy with $200 per hour average. So that told me that going into the last day of the month, my risk, it told me what I should be risking. So if I was up $4,700 and I would have been happy with $4,000, so let me subtract $4,000, what does that give you? Well, that told me that on the final day of the month, I could go out there and maybe get a little bit more risky. I could risk up to $700 because, you know what, even if I lost the $700, who cares? I'm still making $200 per hour with the $4,000 per month. And I went out there and I definitely got more risky. And I got more, let's actually click on these right here so you can see. And I went out there and I traded good old CARV. CARV, one of these fast movers. And I knew it was fast. I knew it was highly risky. But like I said, I knew I also had $700 worth of wiggle room. And you can see that that one ultimately bit me for $590. So I went out there, I had some risk, and I took that risk, and it just didn't quite work out. And look at the details of the trade itself. I want to make a learning lesson out of this, because this very well may be the most important learning lesson within this entire video. But you can see right here, and again, it was such a fast mover that my first buy was only 100 shares. And then it started to pull back, and I thought, all right, this thing is so fast. All right, this is good. So I bought another 100, and then I bought 200. So yeah, the price was pulling back, and I was trying to build a bigger position because, again, I had that $700 in my mind. I knew from a money management perspective what my risk could have been. And then eventually I got stuck in a halt, and I'm like, this thing is a joke. So I went there, and you can see that I sold my 400 shares that equated to the loss of $586. But let's just say that for whatever reason, I got stubborn, or maybe I didn't know my risk amount and I just decided to keep on buying or not honor my stop loss. What would have happened to my month? So here is the first 15 minutes of the day of CARV where I just showed you the trades. So first 15 minutes, that's candle right here when it was going down. That's when I was showing you I was buying and buying. And then finally I just had to wave the white flag, get out and honor the loss. But let's say I didn't do that. Well, there's the next 15 minutes right there. Ouch. But you know what? Things are just getting started. I'll go relatively quickly, but look what happened on this one the rest of the day. Look how absolutely nasty that thing got. The rest of the day, it dropped as low as basically $6. Had I broken my rules, had I not had a plan in place, it is very possible that I could have wiped away my entire month in one trade, just like that. Nasty, nasty move. That's why, now, not just for the last day of the month, in any trade, make sure you have a plan. Make sure you understand your money management. Make sure you honor that plan. Now, am I saying that this could happen to you every single time? No. Sometimes you can break a bunch of rules and the market will still give you a profit. That's one of the unique parts of the market, is it rewards bad behavior. But in some situations, it will punish you severely for bad behavior. And CARV was one of them, and I avoided a huge potential train wreck there. What a nasty move that was. So after seeing all that context, I'm quite proud of that number. In fact, that was probably my best trading day, because when you stop and think about just how bad that day could have been, that minus 487 actually looks pretty well. But overall, made 42.85 on the month. So let's go back to me at my desk. Well, I hope this helps you out, and I hope this can help you, like I said, drag yourself back to, the fact that what you actually did was great. Or on the flip side, maybe you can now start to walk yourself through different calculations, and maybe kind of open up the door and realize that, oh yeah, maybe I need to reassess some situations. But overall, I hope this helped, and hopefully it can offer you up some reassurance or some motivation that, yeah, maybe your month wasn't nearly as bad as what you thought it was. Because did you fall into the trap that I did, where you're looking at social media and then your mind gets all warped and your sense of reality gets thrown off? But like I said, by using those tips, you can bring yourself back to reality and just keep a positive attitude. And that way, when you have positive attitudes, you can, hold on to that confidence that is certainly needed and required as a trader. Real quick before you go, if you enjoyed this video and want to make more like this, very quick, easy way to communicate that to me. Please just hit that like button. Leave a comment, questions, suggestions down below. If you've watched any of my past videos, you know that I do read and reply to all comments. So seriously, if you have anything to say, I would love to hear from you. I will reply. Just leave that down below. And then finally, check out the channel as a whole. You saw the results. If you want to see how a lot of those results actually played out, then check out the live trade segment on my channel. But that's just one of the playlists I have. So hopefully you check out the channel and then decide to hit that subscribe button. But thank you for hanging out. And yeah, get out there and don't let self-doubt drag you down. Use these tips so that you can get yourself back into a reality that is going to keep you positive and therefore confident. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up, as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.